the real reason Andrew Tate was popular is because young men are terrified of women for good reason. They're very scary. And they need to find a way to process that, because you can't just say it openly. The reason young women are scared of men, they can talk about openly because it's like really obvious, straightforward shit, like they could rape or kill you, right? Because men sometimes do that, which I think is bad in my moral opinion. You know, that's something you can, that's a very easy problem to talk about. You know what I mean? Because it's very empirical. It's very easy to get sympathy for, justified sympathy, mind. It's easy, it's like very conceptually understandable. Not to say there aren't people online who are like horrible about that stuff even, but it's easy to rally around. But why are women scary? Well, women are scary because they could laugh at you. And, you know, to a young guy with like a low self-esteem, that's terrifying, right? Could be your height, could be your dick. The way the world works these days, you've probably grown up on pornography, so you think an average penis is like 9 inches and yours is too small or whatever. And yeah, in your brain, this feels like the end of the world. I'm not making fun, you know? It's unfortunate. Young people should be, in my opinion, young people should be overconfident. All young people should be they should all be obnoxious and overconfident, stumbling into each other in high school or whatever. You know, whatever. You're literally stupid, right? Have fun with it. But in reality, obviously, they're all neurotic messes and everyone has short form content addiction. Andrew Tate helps young men feel like they're no longer terrified of women. The narrative there being like, women are subhuman, they are dogs compared to you. They are driven by biological impulses. You know, you have nothing to fear from them. And if they ever did anything that you didn't like, they're beneath you, so it doesn't matter. And I think that's bad, but that is a proposed solution to the underlying insecurity, the underlying emotional problem. I think, of course, the best way of dealing with that insecurity is just to come to terms with yourself and learn how to talk with women and stuff like that. But it's not about Andrew Tate giving good advice. It's just like, that is the emotional core that he is grifting off of. Like, that's what he's trying to appeal to sell you a narrative. I guess my thought here is that for a lot of people on the left, I think that a lot of them, for one, kind of underestimate or misunderstand why people like Andrew Tate have become popular. No longer, but you know what I mean. People like that. But also, more importantly, they have a difficult time understanding what kind of person, basically on a coin flip, could have either become an Andrew Tate fan or like a woke feminist. They have a difficult time understanding, like, really? You really think that all these young, insecure guys who ended up going to the far right, you know, that they might have not been like that if they'd just been giving dating advice? And it does sound a little bit dumb, right? It's like, really? Like that, like these like 15-year-olds online, you're really saying that telling them to like move in for 90% of the kiss but wait for the last 10%, you know, like that advice would have prevented them from having a fucking Sonengrad flag hung up in their bedroom that their parents don't know what it is. They've lied to their parents and told them it's like a fucking state flag or something. And it's kind of crazy to think of it that way, or I guess in that narrow of a context, but I don't know. People are driven by such gut level fucking rationality when it comes to their sexual insecurity. It's always that, man. It always fucking comes down to that. It doesn't feel like it now. I'm 31. I'm past the point where I feel like I'm being led around by my dick. But I swear to God, man, when I was like 16 or 17 or what, when I was in high school broadly, I guess, there were probably like a million times where I did like I did something that was like a social fumble, because my ability to process what a good response to a question or behavior or whatever was miles away from my brain. You know what I mean? And it was all because, in addition to the real world around me and in my head and all that stuff, there was another world which was like the pantomime simulacrum of the social sexual that I was also like running a reel of in my head, where like on one hand, I'm like, I am talking to somebody who I think is cool and I think she's cute and I'd like to get to know her better or whatever. And in my head, there's like unironically like borderline porn scenarios where like, oh, if you say this, she'll fucking love it, dog. And this is informed off of nothing. This is informed off of literally nothing, right? Like I'm basically a kid. I have no idea, but I also have like no better judgment to go off of, basically, because who the fuck's going to give me advice, you know? Bro is hallucinating. That's the entire experience of like early hormonal social behavior. Goon schizophrenia. It sounds stupid, right? Or maybe I'm just explaining it poorly. I just think a lot of people forget how irrational and desperate a point in one's life it is. So I get the idea of a person being like really susceptible to good or bad advice at the right/wrong time. There are people, there are guys who are like 5'10", and a girl they liked said they're short because her brother is 6'1", and they carry the insecurity of being too short literally until their 30s. Like at some point they're married in their 30s, and this 5'10" individual to his wife is like, I've always been short. And the wife is like, what are you fucking talking about? You're 5'10". And then he's like, I don't know, I guess I always thought that was short. And then you have to do some like time warping in the brain to figure out why you have that thought, and it's off nothing. And the girl didn't even mean it. She was just saying it, you know? I don't know. I'm just saying that's why I think it's important to give that advice. You need to be able to provide advice and a worldview in a way that is compelling and coherent and helpful and informative and friendly, and you have to do it so well, and you have to do it so consistently that you overwhelm not only the innate stupidity of people online looking for advice, and boy are you guys sometimes you guys. Not only do you need to overwhelm that, you need to overwhelm the counter propaganda from the massive right-wing grifter industrial complex trying to pull them in the opposite direction, right? You need to like rest them in the right way. Like they're getting pulled back by so many things. They're getting pulled back by the entire right, by fucking billionaire oligarchs that are funding these people, by AI chatbots so Makima from Chainsaw Man can fucking sex them. 12-year-olds out here asking her about her tits or whatever. They haven't left the room in 16 days or something. Their parents are out on vacation. They're dead. They've died in the room. They forgot to eat. You know, they're getting pulled back by so many people and so much power. So yeah, we have to put some effort in. We have to show them the light. That's my take. It's not just telling young people, hey, you know, it's okay to say you want to split the date 50-50, but a lot of girls will expect you to go all in, at least in the first date, and you know, that's up to you or whatever. It's just a broader life thing. Sorry, I know I'm rambling a lot, but